So first off, would I trim some Nvidia? Let's say I had a position in Nvidia. Let's say, I think I have close to $500,000 in Meta stock, roughly, or maybe it's 450,000, something like that, okay? So let's say I had the same amount in Nvidia. Would I sell a little bit today? And the answer to that is no. At the end of the day, you gotta let that baby roll. I mean, dude, we're at the inning one of AI in terms of AI chip opportunity for Nvidia. Inning one. There's no point in trying to rush out of that stock. What you're ultimately going to do is likely every share you sell of a stock like Nvidia, you're just going to regret it. I used to be a shareholder of Nvidia, made good money on the stock. Guess what? I regret selling my stock. I have 0 shares of Nvidia, and I regret it all, okay? That's the bottom line when it comes to that. You let that baby play out, man. It's just an incredible company doing incredible things. And who's their even competitor? They got one competitor, in my opinion. One true competitor. AMD. That's it. And AMD is actually, I think, a little behind on AI. Now, in regards to Palantir, spend a moment on Palantir. In regards to Palantir, right? Revenue next quarter is supposed to be up. I think analysts have them at 12%. Based upon Nvidia numbers, based upon what Alex Karp said on the latest conference call and what he said in the latest press release, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say Palantir's probably going to crush numbers. Probably going to crush yearly guidance, probably bring up all their numbers, and that's going to be a whole new off to the races 1750 situation. We'll see what plays out. It's not in the bag, but I'm just going to put some pieces together and say that's probably going to happen. By the way, I was spending some time looking at the early PC revolution of the 80s, right? And guess what? There was a lot of talk in that early PC revolution of the same exact things we're hearing about today. Oh, this is going to take all the jobs away because now these computers are going to, do everything for us and this and that, right? And the same exact talk you hear nowadays, right? All the computer did was just help us prosper in a massive way like we never prospered, and companies earn a lot more money and obviously a lot better situation, and you can find any bit of information right from your pocket nowadays, right? And that's incredible because it used to take you hours, days, weeks, or months, or never be able to find out certain information that now we can find out in seconds, right? And so the same talk of the early 80s around PCs is actually the same talk you're hearing around AI. Oh, it's going to eliminate so many jobs. All it's going to do is actually open up tremendous opportunities for many things over the next, in my opinion, 20 to 30 years. Now, Palantir. So analysts have Palantir growing only 12% next quarter, right? Then they have them growing 17% the following quarter, 16% for the full year, 19%. Okay. Let's just think about this a little logically here, okay? Alex Karp seems extremely confident suddenly over the past 6 months. Alex Karp just told us on the last conference call, or not just the last conference call, but the last press release, that interest in their new more AI-enabled product, right, is pretty much unprecedented, is what he said, right? Is without precedent, right? Which means like it's just overwhelming demand and interest in their product. So if I had those two things, but most importantly, I just got the most important data point I could possibly imagine. And what is that data point? Is Nvidia just guiding for 60% plus growth in the next quarter. That tells me that AI is not fake, this is real, and this is happening, and this is a massive opportunity. And this tells me when Alex Karp says, our demand and interest from companies for our AI product is without precedent, that means it's without precedent, and this is crazy, okay? And so I'm going to go out there on a limb and say, gosh, I think Palantir's probably going to come in with some massive revenue beats throughout this year. And I don't know if it's going to be 10x, like obviously Nvidia is doing here, but it's probably going to be substantially above what analysts have them doing of 12 and 17 and 16 and 19% growth, okay? I mean, put the piece of puzzle together there and you find a few things, okay? This is a deal with Palantir. It's a massive net loss company for years, right? 2018, they lost almost 600 mil. 2019, they lost 588 mil. 2020, they had a net loss of $1.1 billion. 2021, $520 million net loss. 2022, $371 million net loss. The company just got 2 quarters of positive net income, and the company's expected to have net income here on out. So this is a company that's at the infant stage of profitability. The infant stage. And so this is like a 9 to 12-month-old baby learning how to walk, okay? they're learning how to walk, they're going to start running, and it's going to be really fast. And when you see companies get to this infant stage of profitability, things get really fun really quickly. And that's exactly what I think is going to play out here in regards to Palantir, right? But here's the thing. A lot of people don't look at, so basically you should be willing to pay a lot more for Palantir than actually Nvidia, even if the growth rate's lower as far as revenue, because this is a company that's at infant stage of profitability, and their profitability is going to expand at a much quicker rate, in my opinion, than something like an Nvidia. But some people don't even look at net income, net loss that much in regards to Palantir specifically. There's a metric they look at a lot more that they think is more important. Now, personally, I love to look at net income. I love to look at earnings per share. I love that stuff. But the thing that people look at more with Palantir is this next thing, okay? That is free cash flow. Look at free cash flow for this company. It has been skyrocketing. This is back in 2022, 20 million in that quarter for free cash flow, 77 million free cash flow, $109 million free cash flow, and now they've been putting up 183, 182. The company is likely going to be putting up $200 to $300 million per quarter in free cash flow. And it's going to happen sooner rather than later, as in like next quarter, okay, in the next several quarters. So which means if you run that on a yearly basis, well, how much free cash flow are we talking over the next year? You're likely talking about $1 billion plus of free cash flow in 2024, right? And if you're talking about you're paying a $25 billion market cap with $1 billion plus in free cash flow, and this company's still so early days in this AI opportunity and their business model in general, their expansion opportunity, it's not a high valuation whatsoever in regards to Palantir. It's actually a deal, okay? Now, in regards to AI stocks, right? This is my AI stocks watch list. This does not mean this is the only companies that are going to benefit from AI. There's going to be others. These are some of the ones that I think are best positioned to benefit in a massive way from AI. Adobe, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Palantir, Meta, Nvidia, Amazon, and AMD. Now, personally, I'm positioned in 4 of these, right? Tesla, Palantir, Meta, and Amazon, right? And in regards to Meta, here's my position so far, right? We're up about $230,000 so far in this position. I think we're going to be up a whole lot more. How does Meta benefit from AI, by the way? Several different ways, but the best one, in my opinion, is going to be in their algorithms and being able to serve you content, videos, pictures, whatever that are ultimately you're most interested in, right? And all that's going to be algorithm-based. All that's going to be AI-based, okay? Tesla, obviously positioned in this one. So far, we're up about $265,000. I think, Tesla's obviously going through a tough time short term in terms of high ticket purchase items, but Tesla's long-term opportunity is absolutely immense, right? Amazon, so far, we're up about $12,000 in this one. We're going to be up a whole lot more than that in future years, and this is just an easy money play. Amazon can obviously benefit from AI in a lot of ways. AWS is going to benefit in a substantial way over the next 10, 15 years in regards to this, right? Obviously, in terms of serving you up products that you're more interested on the e-com side, that's going to be massive. So there's a lot of different benefits from Amazon that they're going to see from AI over this next 10, 15 years. And so I'm going to continue to buy Amazon stock regardless this year. I'm buying Amazon all the way up to $150 a share, if you didn't already know that, okay? And in regards to Palantir, right? So far, we're up $21,000 in this position. I think that's a small amount compared to what we'll be up in the future. In Palantir, this is a stock that I want to continue to add position to over time as well. This is one of those that I'm looking at, and it's just so early days in the story, in my opinion. So much to climb here. Such a sticky business model, in my opinion. And I think it's just going to build out to a cash flow. It's already built out to a cash flow machine, but I think we're still early days in their cash flow story. That's a crazy thing. Like this is going to be a company doing, in my opinion, $2, $3, $4 billion a year in free cash flow. I mean, when you're throwing out that sort of money, imagine the share buybacks Palantir can do over time if they want. Imagine the dividends Palantir can pay out over time if they want. Imagine the other companies they can buy out over time if they want. Imagine the employee force they can continue to build out if they want. So, those are kind of my positions there. And certainly in regards to Amazon and Palantir, I want to continue to build those ones because those are much smaller positions than obviously Tesla, which is a $300,000 plus position for me in the public account, and Meta, which is a $453,000 position for me in the public account. So when you look at this, and then we'll talk about how I'm positioned in different AI stocks and whatnot, the conclusion is Nvidia and Palantir both look very expensive at first glance. And, if you just look at the trailing 12-month P and the forward P that analysts have out there, right? You're going to look at that and you're going to say, oh my gosh, it's too expensive. I can't look at it. It's overvalued, right? Use some buzzwords. And you start digging a little deeper and you find these stocks actually look cheap, even after their moves. That's the incredible part, okay?